From us welcome to invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional. For today's items only. The investment I'm going to talk today would be ETH. First, I want to say happy Thursday, everybody. Have a great week, by the way. Respect to recording time of 9:22 a.m. on Eastern Time. Ethereum could trade $4,543, down about 1% so far. On the overall crypto market, it's kind of a mixed bag right now. Respect to Bitcoin and Ethereum are both down about 1% respectively, while Dogecoin and Cardano are leaning more of an upward pressure, even though we have had some sort of a normalization effect from the obviously surge that we've experienced yesterday from the Jerome Powell speech or the testimony alongside Janet Yellen yesterday. That subsequently drive some fear mongering with respect to inflationary pressure. And whenever you hear something along the line, it obviously have that anti-correlation effect, driving some sell-off across the equity side, but in respect, drive up the crypto market as because it's some sort of a safe haven type of instrument for people to hedge against the inflationary pressure. So in addition to that, we're normalizing because later last night, I would say when I was watching the 10 p.m. Evening news or night news, and seems like the cases of respect to the COVID variant Omicron is spiking in California, specifically in San Francisco. And with respect to the case, it's stemmed from one traveler that came from South Africa, and I think he arrived into the States on November 22nd, right? And he was, didn't really have much symptoms, right? But as I guess he caught something and it percolated over time within his body. He went to the hospital on the 27th, which is basically 5 days afterwards. And I believe the medical officials has announced that they identified this as the Omicron COVID variants, right? So this is one of the early case that we see, despite the containments that we were expected to do, but it could leak out because it's a virus that doesn't happen like on the same day or the next day. It takes about 6 to 12 days for the virus to build within your body, and then the symptoms start to get reflected on your external outlooks, right? So definitely drive some fear again onto the market whenever you hear anything along the line with respect to COVID or pandemic. It's just a negative affectation across the entire market, both on the crypto and the equity, so not just one over the other, right? So it's kind of a mixed bag, but ultimately I would say the chart is still holding a bullish setup in terms of the pattern that we're seeing in front of us right now. So we'll see how that goes as we are, we have formed the rim or basically the cup of the chart. But with respect to the handle, that's something we will see. And I think we are forming a handle right now, which makes a lot of sense based on the current setup. But before I dive into the more specific technicals, let's just dive into news real quick. So with respect to some of the news that have been percolating in the last, let's say, 12 hours when we were, asleep domestically, some of the news are, COVID related that we've already talked about. So let's just talk about some of the trivial news and also NFT related news that I see in front of me right now. So the first one's on Bazinga about 10 hours ago. Talk about Cathie Wood trims $5 million in Coinbase and load up on this stock. So it seems like this is an interesting article that doesn't really have much to do with Ethereum, but it has to do with Cathie's hedge on her portfolio reallocation. So it seems like she trimmed $5 million out of her billions of dollars of asset under management, so it's not a lot, right? But she basically used this $5 million to buy Zoom, which is obviously the video conferencing platform, And the reason she's doing this is because she hedges that the COVID cases will further percolate from here, and that will subsequently translate into a buying opportunity when it's down. And I would say Zoom has been relatively oversold on the technical front. So I get it makes sense, but 5 million is really nothing. It's like a hair, and it's like literally a very a small fraction of her entire holding of Coinbase, right? She's holding like $1 billion of Coinbase stock. So I guess it is not that substantive, but it is interesting to know. The next one's a Decrypt 13 hours ago, talk about Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht. I don't know how to say his last name. There's a relatively unique last name, to launch NFT collection on Ethereum. So this is a relatively interesting looking NFT. It's like a blue, like a porcelain background, kind of like blue and white. So it's like a like a porcelain vase. And don't know. I don't really know what this art is really saying, but it looks kind of nice. I guess it's like two people like lying down on a bed. One guy's like reading a book. The other guy's like sitting next to the guy on a chair, facing him next to his bed. So not sure, but it's a nice piece of artwork, I guess. Um, the next one is to talk about with respect to Solana defies the market and pushes higher, while Ethereum and Bitcoin continues to fall. So this is a technical analysis article talking about Solana surge. So right now Solana is down about 1.86%. Trying to break all-time high right now, and I believe Solana is at the cusp of forming that golden cross, or is it already forming a golden cross? So we'll look into the technicals in a bit. And that is pretty much it overall, by the way. Obviously, we are seeing the current price level right now due to the fact that we have such, lot of macro catalysts with respect to the Jerome testimony from 2 consecutive days on Tuesday and Wednesday, and the COVID variant. So it's a lot of mixture, while at the same time the hedge funds and the funds are doing the sector rotations right now. So it's all triangulated into the current mixture, aka the price level that we're seeing right now. So let's dissect this by looking at the technicals. So with respect to Ethereum right now, it's down about 1.35%. 54 out of 70. We are still leaping up. We just formed a golden cross recently. So I think we need to deplete down a little bit, cool down for the RSI to maybe to more of a normalized level below 50 first, right? And I think that will give us like the cup, right, and handle. We have the cup right now. You could see that we're filling the water, right? And the handle will basically dip down to the next resistance level. And I think the next resistance level is somewhere around where we are at right now. Somewhere around like the 4,450 to the lowest of the 4,300, really. So as we dip this in this frame of reference, it will incentivize another surge as we deplete the RSI back to normal. So I would say the cup and handle is still in pattern. So that means it's still in a bullish sentiment right now. And I think it makes sense. So I think it's like the movie's really coming true all together in front of us right now. With respect to Bitcoin, it's a little bit lagging behind. We're trying to get to the golden cross, but we just cannot. Despite we're trading at a relatively comparable pattern, but we need to go up all the way, right? Or at least to at the bare minimum level of the 67 for us to fill that cup, right? 65 to 67, right? And then we form that handle. So it seems like this is just a negative pattern. So it seems like Bitcoin and Ethereum are trading a different pattern. Historically, we understand that Bitcoin will drag up the whole market, right? But Ethereum seems like it's doing its own thing right now. So you can see clearly that they're separating. In terms of the momentum, they are becoming more individualistic entity instead of just being more of a byproduct, or they have to be codependent, if you may. Dogecoin is up about 1.35% right now, just percolating, hovering. Again, right, anywhere from like the current level to the 1950 is still the dip, and I think we are in a bullish pattern because we are slowly forming a curvature upward to form the golden cross. Cardano is up right now, and we are about on the cusp of forming a golden cross. So as we form this cross, the next level is going to go up to the 187, right? And I know some of you guys bought the dip, right, around 160 to 140, right? Let's see closely. Yeah, anywhere from like the 150 to the 145, right? And I know some of you guys actually bought the dip on 145, so congrats on the gains that you're seeing right now in front of your eyes. So with respect to Solana, we are forming a golden cross slowly, not completely yet, right? You can see that we're touching it, we're kissing right now, and at the moment we are in new territory, and we are forming some sort of resistance level at the 230, and subsequently sold back down because 230 was a flat number. But right now we're at the OK level, so I think the bullishness is still in play. But in terms of the next territory, where we're going, is still up in the air. I think the next resistance level is going to be 240, obviously, right? And then to the 250, obviously, which we get some resistance. And then 260, we couldn't get to 260. We were at like 50 cents away from 260, or 5 cents away from 260. So that's where we're going. Risk versus reward ratio is not the best, but it is at an okay level. So if you want to buy Solana, but in the more of a long-term perspective, that's not a terrible level. XRP right now is 0.97, so down about 4% right now. We're just ping-ponging again, and I think at the moment we are at a depleted level, so it's not a bad hedge, right? Right now it's just selling down because the overall market is selling down with the 39, so we are oversold. So I think not a bad risk versus reward ratio for us to incur some dip right now. And polkadot right now is down about 5%, or 6% close to. Anywhere from like 33 to the, anywhere from, yeah, there to 25 is still the dip. Algorand, we see that we surged up quite nicely. And the reason we do that is because we are forming a golden cross. And right now we are at the 52 out of 70. And at the moment right now, I would say anywhere still around 160 to 152 is still a better risk versus reward ratio for us to get there. Oh, sorry, my dog just came in. Hi Finn, how are you? He's like watching me. He's like, who am I talking to? And then the next one is Shiba Inu. It's down about 3.24%. I'm not talking about Finn, by the way. It's currently still sliding off, and I think ideally, at the moment right now, we are at an okay level, not the best. So I think maybe dollar cost anywhere. Oh, Finn. Sorry, guys. Anywhere from like the 27, like 2800 to the 900 still a better dip for us, because these are not really consolidation. These are just leap ups. And you can see that how clearly we are bearish right now, just sliding off the cliff right now. So we still have some more room to fall down to, despite us trying to form a golden cross again. But I think, if you want to buy now, just be prepared mentally that you could potentially sell back down to the, the high 2800 from here. So with respect to risk management level, these are levels identified to dollar cost average. Again, these are my risk aversion, my conservatism because of my holding that I have right now. And these levels are, again, right, as we deplete to below 35 on the RSI scale, on below 30 even, and as we form the preliminary golden cross as well. It's like when we're really, really oversold, these are levels that we ideally want to be buying at the current state of the economy right now, right? So hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and stay tuned for Scoop Up. Take care. Bye.